Hey y'all, this is Ciarfox. Welcome to my stream. We're gonna start off doing the mining guild quest. Whoa. Whoa! I have all the stuff, though it'll probably make me run over to everything and anyone, so... Ishnai, I've been searching high and low for you! Good, because I've been escaping you. And doing these quest lines. You have a visitor, no ordinary one at that. I speak of Deep Canyon Vice Foreman of the mineral concern. Seems a word of your sizable haul of obsidian has reached his ears, and now he wishes to meet with you. I can only speculate that as his intentions, I'm afraid. We haven't spoken much of late. Truth be told, I've scarcely seen him. You never know it, but we used to be close. Anyways, I suggest you go and see the man, find out what he wants with you. He'll be waiting by the entrance. Yo! You must be Ishnai Ciarfox. I've been waiting for you. I'm Deep Canyon, Vice Foreman of the concern. I must say, you're not what I'm expecting. I was sure Alberta's newest protege would be an Almegan, like every other miner that this place produces these days. But I'll wager you're one from farther afield, and you're an adventurer. Humph. I'm also a warrior of light, bitch. No offense, but in these parts, adventurers are known for being fickle buggers who break pledges like the rest of us break bread. And truth be told, I've always wondered whether you lot are actually good for Udall. Well, bitchin' that I can change your mind on that. But it seems you're not like the others. It takes more than a jobbing miner to deliver an order for the concern. 1 second, y'all. Alright, sorry, was talking with Mom. Hi, Wolf, how are you? I have a mind to decide you work, real work, but before I do, I'm obliged to test you. I want you to procure 7 ounces of cinnabar for me. Good, I already have it with me. Wahahaha. Do this and we'll talk more about lucrative undertakings. Of course, a bit of cinnabar shouldn't pose much of a trouble for the guild's rising star. 'Tis but a formality. Speaking of formalities, be sure to tell the guild master about your little test. I already have the ship. She's the one in charge around here, after all. I wouldn't have said it. Won't have said it that I'm undermining her authority. Undermining my authority! So how you doing, Wolf? A test from Deep Canyon, you say? I thought as much. In case you know, cinnabar is the mineral used to make quicksilver. It's found in certain types of rock, and you invariably need a sledgehammer to get at it. Just existing. I know that feeling. Now, that don't mean to dampen your spirits. But contrary to what you were told, cinnabar isn't easy to find. In fact, it's known to elude even the most experienced miners, and here you are tasked with procuring 10 ounces of the stuff. I already have 10 ounces of the stuff. Safe to say this test is no mere formality. I may not be able to help you dig, but I can point you in the right direction. Search just outside the Sunrise Gate. The rocky outcrops thereabouts are known to yield cinnabar. $10 ounces may sound like nothing, but take it from me. You'll have to work for every ounce. This is a big task, Ishnai, but I expect you to equal it. I swear, I spent more time trying to get the level 51 than the cinnabar one. Oh well, the full amount. Congratulations, Ishnai, you passed the test. Whoa! I passed! Whoa! Yeah, I'm now at the point of my schedule of strange sleeping habits of now that it's starting to get darker sooner, my mind wants me to sleep more than normal, so it's kind of been one of those things of a fight to even stay up. It seems you got even more potential than I've been led to believe. The guild's no place for a lass of your talent. I'd make you my personal assistant, but sadly for you, the position's not open to adventurers. Why? Because the concern only employs those whose roots are firmly planted in Udall. Our nation owes much to its prosperity to the mining trade, but more and more we see outsiders growing fat off the knowledge of our forebears. Ah, nationalistic xenophobe. Cool. Oh, I know full well there are decent foreigners out there who would give us as much as they get, yourself for one, but ultimately what belongs in Udall should stay in Udall hands. Racist, racist, ba la 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 la. Of course, the current guildmaster doesn't share our way of thinking, which is something I dare say we'll need to see about correcting before long. Might be this business is good, but 'tis better to be short-handed than watch outsiders make off with our wealth. Xenophobic, woo! But we were talking about you, Ishnai. Yes, you were. And even if you say that you were talking about others, you were still talking about me, because I'm still a foreigner. You've proven yourself capable, and the concern will have more work for you in the coming days. Depend on it. Before I go, here's some free advice for me. Pay more attention to your gear. My gear's level 50 gear, sir. When you wear and wield, affects how well you work. Even a decent pair of gloves can make a world of difference. Take my word for it. It even has materia in it. These things cost money, 'tis true, but what's the price of a pair of gloves compared to untold wealth that lies out there, waiting to be dug up? Bugger all. That's what. And on that note, I'll be off. I don't doubt we'll meet again soon, assuming you'll stick with the trade long enough, that is. Bitch. Well, you're not wrong either. I'm doing this because I need the money right now. The mind to teach you about materia. Oh, Ishnai, I heard you passed the vice foreman's test. Well, I never doubted you'd manage it, but I'm proud of you all the same. Tell me, did Deep Canyon have any word of advice for you by any chance? Yeah, stop being racist. I mean, that was my advice to him, but I didn't say it. Because I don't know how to speak half the time. I see. In case you're wondering, the vice foreman used to be a miner himself. But more than that, he used to be my mentor. My father was a miner too, but he died in a cave-in when I was but a child. The guild's been a home to me ever since, and its members my family. I grew up here, watching girls sing and dance on that very stage. I even joined them for a while. It seemed the best way to please my adopted family. I didn't want to become a miner back then, you see. After what happened to my father, I could scarcely face the thought of spending a moment underground, never mind a lifetime. Look at that. First band of the night. Whoa! Mazel tov! Not that the stage suited me much better. Which left what, exactly? Having been surrounded by miners for as long as I can remember, I began to wonder if I truly belonged among them. And that was when I even considered leaving. It was then that one of the guild's brightest and best took me by the hand and showed me the joys of mining. I speak, of course, of Deep Canyon. Told me everything he knew. which is a great deal, and the more I learned of mining, the closer I felt to my father. I owe a lot to Deep Canyon, despite how things turned out. But I'm rambling. I mean, mentally tests tell you that the man knows what he's talking about, when it comes to mining, at least. Now, it's high time I taught you something. You're here to learn, after all. It concerns the Vice Foreman's advice to you. He speaks true. A miner who neglects his gear can't hope to work to his full potential. In the past, if you wanted to improve your gear, you had little choice but to replace it. But these days, we have materia! By your confused expression. No, the confused expression is, why are you thinking I don't know about it? I am quite familiar with it. Well, then I reckon it listens to orders. Simply put, material is the kind of crystal that enhances the properties of equipment so that it's attached to. The attachment process is simple, but isn't always the case. Time-needed substances called catalysts and dug the stuff up once formed a healthy part of the miner's workday. Now, even though there's no need for catalysts anymore, there's still the educational merit in the gathering. To that end, I want you to try your hand at mining a variety of it. Namely, grade 1 carbonized material. 15 ought to do it. You best search for it around the D. Nivelle checkpoint over in the middle of La Nocia. Oh, and you must likely need most. Yeah, I already have it. Here. Here! Have it! Have my carbon. Aye, precisely 15 fragments of grade 1 carbonized materia. Material. Well done. The only reason why they keep this stuff in the, actual, sorry, my mind's having a moment. In the game is because of this quest. These like 2 quests or something. I think there might be a 3rd one out there that you need it for. Because it's no longer used for anything else in the game. I expect you're keen to learn about materia. Not particularly, because I already know, but go ahead. Well, first thing I should tell you is it's not been around for long. In Eorzea, at least. Knowledge of its use only came to our shore only a few years back. The process of enhancing equipment does go something like this. First, you take the well-worn gear, extract the material from it. Don't ask me how. It's through soul binding. You then take the material, attach it to the item you want to enhance. This procedure is known as melding. It once required catalysts like the kind you brought me. I should mention that at this point, the actual task of melding is something that only skilled disciples of the hand should attempt. That's weavers, goldsmiths, and so on. These people used to depend on us, disciples of the land, to supply them with the catalyst. Then catalyst-free melding was discovered, and we lost no small source of work. But that's just progress for you, and I try to be happy for it. Now, there are various kinds of materia, each offering unique benefits. I'm sure you've guessed some of them exceedingly useful to miners. These are easy out. Blah, 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 blah. Once you found a material you like, you just need to ask a friendly disciple of the hand to meld it for you. I'm sure there's one among your acquaintances. No, I go and pay the NPC dude. I don't think it's an acquaintance as much as a person I buy stuff from. Yes, yes it does. And you have to be pretty goddamn skilled with your hands. And your fingers. Ishnai, you couldn't have come at a better time. I literally just you synthesized something and then came back, so... One of our number has just been taken ill, you see. Need someone to handle the work assigned to him. You should have stopped at 69. You know? Best. Tell me, are you familiar with effervescent water? Alchemists use it to make a substance known as natron. And bakers use natron for leavening. That is, raising dough. Without it, there's no ginger cookies, crumpets, blood to hardened tarts. Well, just, you know, make sure to keep one of the jobs at 69 and all the others at 100. As you may have gathered, I'm fond of a sweeter 3. Of course, effervescent water is good for more than just baking. A lot of miners ask for a drop of it in their drinks. Makes the stronger stuff a bit more refreshing, see? And let me tell you, there's nothing better than wash away the dust of a hard day's mining. But you haven't come here to hear my thoughts on food and drink. Well, I am eating right now, so go on ahead, go. This is the best time to actually tell me all about it. And so you shall, by procuring some effervescent water for me. The Alchemist Guild needs 15 bottles of the stuff, and urgently. They couldn't stress that enough. For what I can make out, they themselves are scrambling to fulfill an urgent order for Natron from the Bismarck in Lim's, RPG sex capital of Final Fantasy XIV. It's one of Eorzio's finest restaurants, in case you don't know. Ah, nah, of course not. Anyways, you best get going. You need to work fast to make up for all the time I've wasted chatting about sweets and the grog. Oh, and you'll have your best of luck mining around the Scar over at Black Shroud. You mean what I have right here? I mysteriously read your mind and the wiki. Right in the nick of time. My thanks, Ishnai. I'll see that they are sent over immediately. Ah, but before I do, I should probably explain a bit on what we're talking about earlier. Specifically the part about mixing spirits with evanescent water. See, I wasn't lying about a lot of people find the combination refreshing. It is refreshing. Yeah, gin and tonic. That's a combination that's good. In fact, adding a bit of bubbly water makes stuff go down so easily. You'd have careful not to drink yourself under the table. And a lot of sodas, of course, mixed. Like rum and coke. It is partially for your own good, partially because the lad who tasked you just took care of wasn't careful. Dad soft threw up right where you're standing. Oh, but it didn't end there. He then slipped on his own puke, split his head open on the bar on his way down. Suffice to say, he won't be working for a while. Damn, no white mages for him. Thankfully, you took up the slack. All is well with the guild once more. I could do with a few more like you, Ishnai. Keep up the good work, you hear? Yeah, but... Same. Something about your adoptive father and foreigners. Ah, Ishnai, just the person. I was about to send for you. With who? All you had to do was say my name and I would have heard it. I'm that close to you. There's an order I want to help with. Your help with, see? Comes to the Gladiator Guild via the Vice Horseman himself. You recall the time I had you procure obsidian. Well, this time I need you to find wyvern obsidian. Oh, good to you rarer. No, it isn't. However you ask, come. Let's see, I've handled this stuff no more than a dozen times in my life. So yes, it'll be a bugger to find, but don't worry, you won't be working alone. Just so happens one of your guildmates has volunteered for the task. And considering how difficult it is like to be, I've decided to have the two of you work together. I literally got this long before the obsidian stuff, because I needed it for, Maelstrom collection quests. So, yeah, I'm not gonna... These fucking names! These fucking names! Your partner's name is Wide Gully, and he's waiting for you on the far side of the stage. Go over and introduce yourself, and he'll tell you everything you need to know. Run along now. Oh, and good luck. I mean, you're definitely wide. You must be Ishnai, the guildmaster's pet. I've heard much more about you. Cool. I would say, how to make sure that your, you know, work relationships, you know, start off well. It's an example of one of what not to do. To tell you you've got talent, trouble is you're an adventurer. And anyone with an ounce of sense knows adventurers can't be trusted. Adelberta surely is mistaken if she thinks you're any different. Likewise, she's sorely mistaken if she thinks I'm going to help you find 15 chunks of wyvern obsidian. I'd sooner follow my own pickaxe than see you take credit for my hard work. Well, I bet it's not that hard to fall on your own pickaxe with how wide you are. Though, being that it's a wide gully, common sense also might, you know, be missing since there's, you know, a big distance between, you know, the one ear and the other ear, where a brain should be. That said, I'm not about to risk getting kicked out of the guild for disobeying a direct order. Luckily, there's other ways to handle this. What do you say to a contest? I've already won. What's not as good as cooperating as so long as the client gets what it wants? And Adelberta won't have to complain, will she? Here's the deal. We bind for wyvern obsidian separately, and whoever brings back the better haul, that is to say, the purer haul, is the winner. Simple, yes? Now, we both know what I've been doing this longer than you, and I wouldn't have it said that I trounced a novice. So, to make this more interesting, I'll give you as long as you want. For all the good it'll do you. Oh, and you even have to talk to the client if you want. His name's Herodotus, and you can find him outside the Gladiators Guild. Might be he can tell you something useful. I repeat. I literally have this stuff with me, but yes. Go around and talk to everyone. Hey! Woo! Subscribe for 14 months straight. Damn. You like me? You really like me? Sorry. Bad joke. Bad old joke. Like, I swear that's like from the early 2000s. He likes me. He really likes me. Like one of those, you know, straight to VHS movies. It's the 9-month sub joke. True. I'm her Roger. What can I do for you? Got yourself a contest with Wide Gully, you say. Oof, I don't envy you, miss. I don't know how much about mining myself, but I do know that Wide Gully is good at his job. You can't be deep Canyon's son without knowing a thing or two about being a miner. And apparently without being a bit racist, too. It's okay. I'm just starting off finishing up to at least level 50 the mining quests. Anyways, I have no idea whose idea this contest was, whose ideas this contest of yours was, but if it means I get goods of better quality, you won't hear any complaints from me. Now, if you want to ask me about wyvern obsidian, don't you? Well, I'll tell you what little I know, but remember, I'm a gladiator, not a miner. Saying that, I haven't graced the bloodsands for a while. Took a nasty blow to the knee, you see. Yeah, and you're about to take a nasty blow to the head as I chuck you off the side. Rest assured, the fellow that dealt it got far worse. Anyways, I'm all mended and ready to make my return, and I want to be glorious. Something that'll be sung by the bards. So I thought a shiny new sword was in order. But there's nothing like plumbed oak to draw the crowd. Why? Because it didn't have a single piece of metal in it. Don't as a rule. I don't know what it is. Aye, not a speck of metal. But if you wield it right, the shards of wyvern obsidian embedded in the blade will cut armor like a hot knife through butter. But I'm rambling. You want to know where to find the stuff? Not what I plan to do with it. I recall a conversation I had with a miner a while back. We're talking about the blah 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 blah. Oh, did I mention that's what you call more than one blah 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 blah? I'm very clear. Well, what was it? Ah, yes, we were chatting about the blah 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 blah. And what fellow said to me, he previously dug up obsidian ore around Thal's Respite in eastern Thanland. That's all I know. Hope it helps. I already have all this stuff. I just have to... Alright, let's go talk to the racist and... I mean, the racist son who is also racist, therefore is a racist. Or nationalist, more like it. Bigot. What's the matter? Don't tell me you're having trouble finding a Paul tree 15 chunks of wyvern herbs. Bitch, I've had it this entire goddamn time! Oh, you managed to scrape together the required amount, did you? Well then, let's see your sorry specimens for the sake of the format. Gasp. Bugger me! I don't want anything to do with your bigotry. They're black as night! And some of the purest stuff I've ever seen. How in the seven hells did you find these? You're a mere adventurer. Maybe my adventuring shows me the locations that are far beyond the grasp of people who don't move around, or see beyond what's, you know, their prejudices keep them from seeing. Grr, I'm loath to admit it, but your obsidian is superior to mine. Well, it might be you've bested me in quality, but it's more than... There's more to being a miner than that. Yeah, cope and seethe. Cope. Keep coping for me! You need to be able to give the client what he wants. When he wants it. In other words, you need speed. Without it, quality counts for naught. Bitch! I had it before he even asked for it. I was by far... I had it before anyone asked for it! I by far was the faster man, so we'll call it a draw. But mark my words, I'll best you next time, both in speed and quality. I'll see that the obsidian gets the Sure. In the meantime, why don't you go and tell the guildmaster all about it? I care not what you say. That's a fucking cope from you. Bitch! Ah, Ishnai! How did you find working with White Gully? What? He challenged you to a contest? As if the task wasn't difficult enough. I'm terribly sorry, Ishnai. It was hardly fair of him. He was born a miner. What's that? You beat him? Truly? But he's one of the guild's very best. Well done, girl. He claimed he was faster, did he? Well, speed is important, but White Gully set the rules, and by those rules, you won fair and square. You've come a long way, Ishnai, a long way. You make me proud to be your mentor. At the same time, though, I must admit, the miner in me can't help but feeling some envy. But that's what keeps a veteran like me on my toes. Lights of fire in my belly. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I wouldn't have it any other way. Keep what you're doing, Ishnai, and I'll be doing my damnedest to keep up. Sorry, I'm just... For good half. I mean, the names of the Rodingen guys, everybody is amazing half the time. Good to see you again. Ishnai, you'll be pleased to know that Rodinger was deeply impressed by the obsidian you got for him. More so than that, he is impressed that you bested Wide Gully on the contest. 'Tis no ordinary miner who can outdo the vice foreman's own son. Lest you wonder, I'm quite sure that some of the later ones also have some innuendo. It's just they got away with more of it earlier on. Lest you wonder, I know full well who Wide Gully's father was when I tried to pair the two of you up. I also know for a fact that he has his sights on my position. But there's some who whisper in my ear that I should expel him from the guild, but I can't help but think that's short-sighted. After all, it's hardly a crime to want to be a guild master. What's more is Wide Gully is a tremendously gifted miner, and I'm not in the business of punishing excellence. To be sure, I'm still better overall, but I'm not above admitting there are certain areas which he's more knowledgeable. I tell you this because you'll need to speak to him again for our next task. Fucking hell! We received an order for 20 raw amethysts, you see, and none among us know more about the stone than he does. I beg to differ. Amethyst is my birthstone. So bring it, sir. Now I realize you didn't exactly get off on the right foot with Wide Gully, but the two of you are guildmates, and guildmates help one another no matter their differences. I wonder how he's gonna cope and thieve this way. Also, amethysts are forever. Ah, that's not a reference to say, JoJo and diamonds are forever. No. Strolling on over, bold as you please, after humiliating me the other day? You've got some gall, adventurer. You're the one that's making something out of this. I just walked over here. You're the one with the pride problem. I know why you're here. I heard about the order for raw amethysts, too. No doubt you're wondering where to find them, and if you'll be after my hard-earned knowledge. Well, I'll gladly share it with you. Why so obliging, you ask? Because the knowledge ain't gonna be worth a damn to you, that's why. You'll find the raw amethyst you can carry, all the raw amethysts you can carry in your Hope Seed pond over in Central Shroud. The problem has to do with the beasties inhabiting the place more else. Lindworms, stropers, sprites. I hear tell even jaded Judy's made her home there. Even Rodabon would have had trouble taking a stroll through that neck of the woods. I have not had any problems in that fucking neck of the woods ever. I don't expect to see you back here with 20 hairs on your head, much less 20 of them stones. Ha 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 ha. Bitch. Weep. Weep. Bugger me, you mind these amethysts? I can't believe you made it past all them nasty creatures. Well, maybe being, you know, as unracist as I am, I could talk to locals that could tell me the best way of doing things instead of assuming I am the superior person. Though, I might be, as time I stop being so surprised. You goddamn adventurers come through more often than I care to admit. Oh, I thought that we were fickled creatures, bitch! Anyway, it's one thing to find amethysts, but do you even know aught about them? The properties, what they represent? Humph, thought not. Well, here's a free lesson. I repeat, it's my birthstone. I probably know fucking more than you about it. Rawr. Amethysts are lightning aspects gemstones, prized as embodiments of calmness, decisiveness, and intuition. And coming back with such a large haul of them, it would seem you've got all those things. It's also used as, no, it's like decisiveness and intuition, but it's also, is a warding stone, if I remember correctly. It wards against evil. I might have been hasty to pass judgment. Bitch, you were. The more I see you work, the more I see why the guild master is so fond of you. I never imagined an adventurer would give me my toughest competition, and I was learned better than that. To take every adversary earnestly. Seems I have to redouble my efforts if I want to secure my place as the best in the business. Don't you worry about these precious amethysts you bought. I'll see them safe to the guild stores. Look forward to our next contest, adventurer. That's when I'll drive the pickaxe home that I am the better miner. I don't want your pickaxe. I want you to stay away from me. Like, as wide as a gully away from me. Yes, cheesy. Or were you expecting good jokes from me? Ever! Have you heard, Ishnai? The latest tally has tied you with White Gully as the guild's highest earner. You started as a novice with a rusty pickaxe, and now you're one of our stoutest pillars. You've truly come a long way, my friend. I find myself turning to you more and more often for difficult orders, the bulk of which have been coming from Deep Canyon. As you should well know from past expeditions, these tend to entail going to dangerous locales. I'm loath to put my people in harm's way, but the concern owns us. In truth, if not in name, it'll be ill done to refuse the request, no matter how onerous. But just this once, I've a mind to do just that. I can't in good conscience order you to a wild place like Korthus, merely for the sake of 20 pieces of jade. Oh, you mean what I've had in my inventory? Aye, that's what Deep Canyon is requesting this time. And I have to send someone. You've rightly proven yourself the best candidate, but you should understand how risky the endeavor. Think long and hard before you do something we both regret. I literally live out by Camp Dragonhead as much as I hate it now that Poshquat is gone, but while you're mulling it over, I let you know that White Gully wanted a word. You'll find him in the usual place. With his usual stinky attitude. I take it you've heard about the job, and I can tell from the look in your eyes you're already on board with giving it a go. When you came back with the amethyst that last time, I came to realize something. A true miner must be prepared to risk life and limb for his prize. Should he, though? Mining for jade is no less a place than Halthris March in Korthus would be the perfect place to go put my conviction to the proof. I challenge you to another contest! Why are you competing with yourself? I'm just asking. I have no stake or want in this competition. You just keep throwing this out there. This is literally you competing with yourself at this point. Actually, it's always been. I just want to get this over with and get the, task done. The first to find the 20 pieces of jade and deliver them to Alberta is the winner. The superior miner by all objective measures. Oh good, I'm already here. Hi! I understand why White Gully has challenged you yet again. I know the temptation is to seek victory with whatever the cost, but winning isn't everything. You do what's right for you, Ishnai. I did! And I didn't accept the contest. He just walked away. By the 12, this is Jade, and such fine samples too. Congratulations are in order. You won the contest. By default, that is. White Gully never got his 20 pieces, you see. As he went about his work, he lowered his guard and was attacked by a fell fiend. His wounds were such that all he could do was run to safety. His whole body is somewhat worse for wear. He's like to be out of action for a while. But that's not the worst of it. More than the wounds you can see, I'm worried about his state of mind. He saw you as a rival to surpass, but he ended up losing a contest he himself exactly! Kind of disappointment is enough to break most people. Trust me, I know. Sounds like a him problem. He was the one that came up to me being all bigoted. Why am I supposed to be nice to a bigot who is a bitch to me? I know that seems like being a higher person about this. That, oh, might as well kill him with kindness. But there's a certain amount of... Does he deserve my energy in being kind to him? But I pray White Gully has the strength to get back on his feet and take up the pickaxe once more. He'd be ashamed to lose one so gifted. Let's return to the matter before us, though. I wasn't exaggerating about the quality of this jade. Its purity and strength allows you to see why it's thought as the embodiment of immortality. Since ancient times, man has chosen to adorn his tools and garbs with it. Imbuing yourself with the everlasting is certainly an attractive notion. And no one is more aware of that tradition than Wide Gully. It's for that very reason I intended to create for him a gift of jade. The stone bears my hopes that he will rise again, no matter how often the spinner sees fit to test him, and bring him to his knees. Bend the knee, motherfucker! I know I'm kind of being cruel about saying, why should I help him, and you know, all this other stuff, but... and I do pity him, but... usually when somebody makes a competition with me that I'm not trying to make a competition with, and sees fit to cope and seethe over it, and then expects me to comfort them... Good luck, hun! Hi, Ishnai. I hope you're coming by. He recovered from the ruins suffered in Corthus and resumed his mining for the guild. Wonderful news to be sure, but someone yet troubles me. You see, White Gully's been taking on far more tasks than a single man should. Some attribute his newfound fervor to the sting of losing that ill-conceived jade contest, but I suspect there's more to the tale. I tried to broach the subject with him, but he's stubborn as an Aro rocks, insisting it not be by my imagination. But I know there's something, and where I failed, you might succeed. Strange though it might sound, you're the closest thing he has to a friend here. So I beg of you, Ishnai, speak to White Gully and try and learn what ails him. Do what you can to ease his burden. Gully of woes! Ha 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 ha. Oh, no doubt Adelberta sent you. She's been on me for something fierce since I came back, but it doesn't matter why you're here or whose request. The simple truth is I need your help. I've got a secret that will be sure to bring shame to my family, but I need to tell someone. I know that you're an honest sort. Ledgers at the concern have been tampered with, and I'm being credited for work I didn't do. Wasn't keen on believing it, but the culprit is my own father. I first suspect something was off when I received my last evaluation. I know better than anyone what I do around here, and I know I wasn't working that much. I looked over the concern's records of its dealings with the guild. And sure as day, I found some right damning evidence. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I never wanted it said that I had a leg up in the guild because I'm the vice foreman's son. If I was to succeed, I wanted it to be on my own hands. Learning that my old man was falsifying my accomplishments was like a punch to the gut. And that's why I've been working so fervently of late. By fulfilling enough orders, I'm hoping to turn my father's lies into truth. But I've taken on more jobs than I can handle, got hands to juggle with them. So, like I said, adventurer, I need your help. I said I'm swallowing my pride to ask you this, but I've got no pride left. What happens from here on out, I'm a miner first and foremost, and I just want to do my job. See, that's a respectable response. That earns my respect on that. Right now, the order's giving me the biggest headache is one for 20 chunks of electrum ore. You can find the stuff south of Camp Bronze Lake, over the upper Nosia. Please hurry and thanks. I couldn't have mined better ore myself. You've done me a great kindness. Gratitude rolls queerly off my tongue, does it? Mayhaps that's something that comes more natural with time. 'Twas only my pride that held it back before, and as I said, I've not of that left. I have to work harder than ever now to make my fictionalized accomplishment more than just ink on parchment. As of now, I'm a fraud, plain and simple. Not unlike this electrum, really. 'Tis impure stuff, gold mixed up with silver and other metals. Ah, what am I saying? That comparison isn't fair to electrum. At least this alloy is worth something. Yeah, it sounds like a him problem. However, he might be having a seizure, and somebody might need to look into it. You see, when refined, electrum can take on an opulent whitish hue not seen in other metals. And there's certain things that can't be made without it, so it's prized by crafters. No, if I liken myself to any metal, it would be common brass. Stuff's pretty enough to look at when polished, but worth less, little and less. Boyo! God, head druids being special, one of a kind, minor, everyone respected, but now I'm just... Enough of this brooding. I hate myself as it is, and there's no need to be adding to some whiny sop to my list of failings. I mean, ranting can help, yes. It's just doing something after the rant that's the key. You saved my hide today, Ishnai, and I'll find a way to repay the debt. Mark my words. You don't have to. I would say, your whole thing of admitting you're wrong and then looking like you're working on fixing it. You don't have to. You've earned it in my books. I am easily... Thank the gods! You're here. Wide golly, he's gone and filed a complaint against his father to the concern, citing an abuse of power. It's forced Deep Canyon in a difficult position, to say the least. And though the two of us haven't exactly seen eye to eye of late, I still owe a man a great debt. I would go to him and offer what aid I could, but he's like to spurn even the attempt. Then I'm quite sure he'd do the same to me, except that I'm main protagonist. I know for well how much I've already asked of you, but I'd be eternally grateful if you let Deep Canyon aid my stead. To get started, it might be best if you see what possessed his son to order his own flesh, to inform his own flesh and blood. I already... Canyon of regret. These jokes. These jokes! You're at the Guildmaster's bidding again? Well, I see no reason not to tell you about the situation. You know most of everything any road. My old man was foistering dangerous jobs on the guild, forcing its members to risk life and limb for his own agenda. And if that ain't the most definition of abuse, I don't know what is. You yourself were the receiving end of this, I'm sure you recall. Kin or no, I cannot stand to watch any guildmates being used like pawns in his game, so I went to the concern's upper management to file in a complaint. He hasn't said a word to me since, but I'd have a guess that he might be willing to speak with you. You've certainly done your fair share for the guild. He's out by the entrance right now, in case you want to hear his side of the story. In the real world, nobody would fucking want to talk to me if he was in that position. It's been some time, Ishnai. You've doubtless here as regards to my son's accusation. Well, it's just as he claims. Investigation over. Bye! Now, they ain't gonna spare me what's coming, but I had a reason to my actions. Vengeance. I was supposed to become the master of the Miners Guild. Everyone knew I had the best claim. But Adela Berta robbed me of the armor. Me, the man who taught her nigh everything she knows about her trade. She went behind my back and conspired with her predecessor. Then some fancy who ended up being chosen to lead. By way of payback, and ever since I became vice foreman, I striven to make Adelberta's life even harder than trying to mine with a dull pickaxe. I repeat, thank you for informing me. All those outrageous demands, it was to make her look incompetent. At the same time, I went to ensure my son was placed to take over as guildmaster. And my plan was about to bear fruit, too, until you came along and ruined it all by being my son's better. You and your meddling kids. By your expression, I take it you're doubtful of the tale. You'll need only ask your dear guildmaster. She can vouch for everything I said. No. This is only half of the truth. One side of this. What, Deep Canyon believes I cheated him out of the position of becoming guildmaster? That's not it at all. I never aspired to this position. Gods, I was only an Almegan refugee, working as hard as I could to get by. I never even dreamed I could rise as I did. And I suspected even less that it was the self-same dedication to my work that would lead me to become chosen. If I had known that accepting the mantle would tear us apart... Lamenting the past won't avail us. I only know that I wouldn't be where I am without the man, and I can't allow this misunderstanding to cost Deep Canyon everything. I simply couldn't bear it. I'm not sure there's aught we can still do for him at this point, but we must try. Listen, White Gully is one who filed the complaint. If you were to throw your own weight behind some of my concern, then maybe he could do something. Please, Ishnai, it would mean so much. I don't feel like I should be involved in this. This feels like a not me problem that keeps being my problem because people keep looking at me and telling me to make it my problem. Berta wants to help my old man. Truth be told, it ain't my wish to see his career destroyed neither. I want to teach him a lesson, make him know that he can't just use people for his own ends. But now the concern knows it's been taken out of my hands. In their eyes, my father's actions have just jeopardized relations with the Miners Guild, and nothing could be worse. So they've given him a test. If he is to remain vice foreman, he must prove the inquest that he still has the confidence of the guild. And they ain't interested in no words. They want hard evidence. That's to say, they're demanding that someone from the guild show him loyalty by going and digging up 3 of the toughest damn chunks of ore there is to find. Dark steel. Problem is, he's got no allies in the guild on account of his own behavior. And I certainly don't qualify for the task being his son. And Adelberta can't do it neither, because she's the bleeding guildmaster. That's just how it works. So this leaves you, Ishnai. And we don't have much time before the inquest begins. So you'll have to hurry. And I wasn't exaggerating before. Darksteel is as elusive as all hells, located in the snowy reaches of Corthus, and nowhere else. To actually find the stuff, you need to use your truth of the mountains. Blah, 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 at night. I know. Sacrifice virgins, night of the full moon, blah, 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 blah. A technique to locate unspoiled mineral deposits, and then God knows why you'll have to survive the night of the cold for the deposits to reveal themselves. And finally, you dig and pray. When you have enough chunks of dark steel oil, take them to Alberta. I'm sure she'll know what's going on. Like I said, this is a whole load of not my problem. If the guild is a family and he was sending out other of my family members out to dangerous positions that could get them hurt for materials, why? Oh, why am I trying to give him a second chance? White Gully told me all about the situation. Be sure to bring the... Now, I feel this bears the mentioning, but regarding to how to obtain the oil, it might sound ridiculous, but it's exactly as White Gully says. You need the endurance to survive a night in Corthus. I survived, and I was wearing this much clothing. Just fine. Technique of the mountain. Sweet. Incredible, Ishnai. Your talents are truly boundless. Hopefully these will suffice to spare Deep Canyon. Let's make haste to the inquest. White Gully is already on his way. Why? Angry Lalafells are angry. Well, did you get any guild member to bring you the dark steel ore? Cause, make no mistake, Deep Canyon, if you came to this inquest empty-handed, we will end you. Your time in the concern will be just a memory. Well... We have the ore right here, procured by somebody who wants to be left the fuck alone out of politics. By 12, she isn't lying. This is dark steel, and some of the finest I've ever seen. It's no ordinary miner who can find dark steel, let alone stuff that looks this good. Seems your reputation is well earned. Well, I do save the world every once in a while, and I do go mining less times than that. That said, we've hardly here to question your ability, though I find myself wondering as to your motives. Why did you bring the ore? I'd know the same. Why stick your neck out for him? He's given you nothing but trouble. What in the seven hells you're trying to pull, Adalberta? I don't need anyone's pity, at least not yours. I'm not here to give you pity, but to clear up the misunderstanding between us. Misunderstanding? Listen to me, Deep Canyon. I never wanted to be Guildmaster. The responsibility was thrust upon me, and there's not to be done for it. Gods, when my name was being bandied about the position, my first instinct was to take myself out of consideration. I spoke to the Guildmaster in private, as you say, but it wasn't to connive against you. It was to give up my claim. You're expecting me to believe that? At this point, it doesn't fucking matter if you believe her or not. She's telling what she says. And you're also not in the position to question. If I had betrayed you back then, would I have bothered to come here? But if that's true, then everything I've done by the 12 to have taken it this far. Yeah, it's fucking your fault! Why didn't we let him face the consequences of his goddamn actions? Sorry. You didn't want to admit defeat, Father. Adalberta beat you out of her own merits. You knew this in your heart, but you refused to accept it. In your pride, you convinced yourself that she betrayed you, but by doing so, you only validated why you were passed over for the Guildmaster in the first place. Please, Father, let go of the past. Accept you were beaten, as I have with Ishnai, and let's start over. Look! I repeat! This is a competition I have nothing in. At all. Give me a task, I go do it! I haven't beaten you, White Goalie, you've beaten yourself! 'Cause, literally. You have it in you to do so, Deep Canyon, to begin anew. I know your love for mining is more than anyone. If you'd be willing to try again, I promise you the guild's full cooperation. Full cooperation? Are you sure about this? Look. I would leave the past where it belongs, in the past. The guild wants to only look forward and continue to work with the concern. Ishnai was the biggest victim of this whole— Yes, I was! Yet she is willing to give Deep Canyon another chance. No, actually, I was not! I just wanted this quest to be done with. She wouldn't have brought the dark steel or otherwise. That's all well and good, but what about you? Can you really forget everything he's done? I can. Above all else, I miss my old friend and mentor. To get him back, I would forgive much and more. You know, he badly hurt his own son in trying to get, you know, to get that jade and all this other stuff. And probably badly hurt other members of your fucking guild to, you know, raise up his chances and all this other stuff. He hurt other fucking family members if you consider the Miners Guild your family. Physically! Could have killed them! Fine. Adalberta. Well, I'm inclined to lay this matter to rest. Any objections, do you see? If you're satisfied, brother, then so am I. Then it is settled. Vice Foreman Deep Canyon, by request of the Miners Guild, you shall retain your present office at this mineral concern. Through hard work, I trust you will make amends to past transgressions. I'm so glad that this is over, Ishnai. I would have a word with you in private. Would you mind returning to the guild with me? But that won't be in private. There will literally be everybody around. I asked you here so I might thank you properly. Had you not been on hand to help, Deep Canyon's career would have ended prematurely and in disgrace. Worse, I might have lost my dear friend forever. I owe you a debt that I'll likely never be able to repay. Ah, but look at you. In no time at all, you've grown into a miner who can make the earth yield up even to dark steel ore, the rarest of minerals. At least in base game. There's nothing left for me to teach you. As an adventurer, you like to find yourself in all corners of the realm. But wherever your road takes you, I want you to practice your craft for the good of all. Go well, Ishnai. May your toils never go unrewarded. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, let's put this to the armoire. Armoire. And... that'd be Adventurers Guild. Let's see. Alright. Keeping that for later. Guess I need it. Probably need that for later too. Alright. Let's see. Debate, debate, debate. What now? If you want me to be really truthful, I want to go back to the main storyline rather than work on Omega. Why don't we do that? No, I jump between other things while I'm at it too later on. Alright, searching for haste slot. No, the game. The name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistel gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Eulmore, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of mule, and the chance of a lavish life among the free. The Valkyrie thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I didn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Valtyr's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Eulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend Cha Nuz. Was it? I'm sure there's others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, but because he left soon after. That was that. Oh, which reminds me, let me jump and teleport to Eulmore real quick, cause I noticed the cute talking thing with, the wife. Leah? Like, relationship goals. I've made a habit of keeping sweets and tea ready for my dear husband's return. Perhaps more than is necessary. If you should find yourself in need of respite, you're more than welcome to partake of them. She babies him. It's adorable. Well, not babies him in that, making it creepy way, but it's so obvious they care about each other. Relationship goals. Come on, y'all. Alright, he's all the way up it. Jump back to right. By the way, Anubis says hi. Oh, Haru! I didn't realize, I mean, when I picked out the sound that, you know, the fox makes, the fussy fox makes, I didn't realize that sometimes during this stream, I would make noises similar to the fussy fox. And I'm kind of embarrassed. And I did not pick it out on purpose. I just thought that it was a cute sound that, you know, a clip. The cute sound that a fox made, so ah! Turns out Master Chai was over in Gate Town too. He spoke to a few of the residents, apparently. They told me they'd never seen a posh bloke look so miserable. Pressure of being a leader. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see, Kaishir and I gleaned as much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill may yet remain among the settlements of Lusa. Yes, and I'm embarrassed. That's only likely places to be left in is Amityville Horror. Come quick, we may yet catch up with him. No, nothing like coincidence here. Or it's just also me realizing how already fox-like I am, and am disturbed by that fact. It really is my spirit animal at this rate. Alphino! I mean, Ishnai, Alphino, Kashir! What are you doing here? We might ask you to say, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared with so much out of a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in the blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers, though I suppose she could have overlooked it, and when she gets an idea into her head... I can only apologize. No harm, Master Chai, but since we're here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you've been elected mayor, and from what we've gathered from nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. It's safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, don't just... Let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Colusa. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe said resources can be found here. Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might make a mayor of me. With respect, and such foresight is, in itself, proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain that this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it's worth, will vouch for you should you require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai! I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted to do was to make it to Eulmore, but that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble, or a boil, more like it. Did you ever find any of your friends that went before you there? Because it doesn't seem like you have. Because that's the reason why he wanted to go, because all his friends, you know, made a pact that they'd all go there. Anyways, outside of repairing mouse to Alphino, I haven't had a clue of what to do with myself. Spend most of my days in a daze, but you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up to Mount Gold, didn't you? How hard could mirroring be? One of them is a short-term goal and the other one's a long-term goal. You're gonna steer Eulmore to a better future, I know it. I want to help, properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what that is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you'll let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny this gives me heart. Come, let us press on together. Yeah! Hey, Chai, I wonder how it feels like to be given too much credit for anything and everything as main protagonist. When all I do is people tell me where to go, and I do it. There's like a linear path here when it comes to the main story. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Eulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here. To find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? And are you certain he's here in Amity? Weirden is his name, and yes he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Valtry's father when he was in office. No. No! No! If Rajit was the mayor's right hand, one might say that, Meriden was the left, and between them, they kept Eulmore in the road to prosperity. The city needs more than just a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think you will listen? You. Alphino, you will make him listen. Before giving chase, it might be wise to speak to those who know him, here in Amity. They might be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal, then. As you recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him, and I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. I mean, we did save his life. After you had him... Well, you personally did not have him chucked out, but, I mean, you said that he didn't fulfill your needs that as a painter. Therefore, Valtry decided to have him chucked out. I reckon Eulmore could learn a thing or two from Amity about standing on its own 2 feet. Then again, so could I. Well, it's time. According to Master Chai, the Werden fellow occupied the position of a considerable influence in Eulmore leadership, which begs the question, why did he choose to leave? I don't know. Look at Valtry and realize you wanted to leave quicker rather than later. I realized it was me who suggested speaking to Tristal, but who's to get who's to say he'd be any more receptive than Reardon? Why, should any of them give me the time of day? Bah, no, that's no way to think, ignore me. I mean, it's good to have those kinds of thoughts, it's just not to have those thoughts control you. Greetings, friend. And to you, too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask about Reardon? I couldn't help but overhearing your early exchange. Yes, well, with Valtry gone, Eulmore wants for a leader, and should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Reardon's counsel in the hopes we could build a better Eulmore together. And that is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Eulmore, and I will not see you suffer for Valtry's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Reardon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Eulmore's past, quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. Yeah, that's a way of thinking of it. I can see it in your eyes, the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Eulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was headed towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear with your intentions. Very well. Pit 8, we shall go, and will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. Despite our previous artistic differences, I do believe Master Chai means what he says. But until he starts believing it, I fear it won't amount to an awful lot. If that's not a statement for the ages. I mean well, but truly, absolutely believing that you mean well. I mean, in the sense, you mean that you're doing well and moving forward. This is an interesting hovel of yours. Believing and
Well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
Oh, please.
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Eulmoreans.
Actually, everyone of this world.
They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Valtry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever.
I know, right?
To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Valtry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Second attempt, but we're not counting.
Here, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make.
I know, right, Lies?
In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Eulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Valtry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Valtry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Eulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Eulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice, and sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want, secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course, content to, as you say, wallow in indolence, in ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with forgery. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Eulmore for the people.
By the people. Like, all this used to be self-evident that all men are pretty cool, that they're bound by their creator's certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No, I had not to memorize the preamble in the middle school, and I'm surprised I remember even that much of it.
I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Eulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
It remains to be seen if his words will translate into deeds, but I shall endeavor to keep an open mind. Imagine it, a Eulmore that even a bloke like me could help to build. People cannot be brought together in a strength of high ideals alone. This I know from painful experience. Wyndon was right to demand proof of Master Chai's commitment. Yeah, but usually proof involves me doing the shit. Ahem, right then. Is there a particular issue you have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems of Eulmore now face. I assume you agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes, the Mio being neither desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. A man who hungers does not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I shall consider offering you my counsel. Combination of measures would be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, the other is that of production. Go on. For the peasants, Eulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problems that affect us all. The long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as a source of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated. Their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, we can rekindle the relations with our neighbors, guaranteeing a secure and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes. To begin, it's rather an abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Eulmore and nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinos. I have? Well, that's a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. Fair point, Weirden. And one point to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid the establishment and management of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos. But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago, without a ready supply of necessary equipment. The people would starve before plans would be put into effect. Well, as heir to the Stoneworks, it just so happens that my Talos are my field of expertise. With a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time. Woo, woo, woo. Looks at me. Therefore, I have to do everything right. Is that it? Do you see it? There's a fire in Master Chai's eyes that was not there when we first met. A fire that we'd best keep kindled if we wish to see Eulmore change for the better. That Wernden geezer doesn't seem so bad. What with my Master Chai worried about, he's got to give himself a bit more credit. You had a hand in constructing the giant Talos in the north, did you not? When the Eulmore volunteers began arriving, I hid myself away lest I be recognized, and thus deprived myself of what I am reliably informed was a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. Bugger. Wandrin's quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have, which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Kolsula. They'll need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should be on top rung. Come with me. So, it still involves me doing shit, but it involves me beating up shit, which I'm okay with. So he's an authority on Talos, is he? Humph. What other surprises could he be hiding, I wonder? He has a loving wife. How do you catch a Talos, then? Dig a hole and lure it into it? Hit it with magic. Hit it with a hammer. It's one thing to repair an immobile Talos, as Ryoshe did, but it's quite another to catch one, surely. Does this not sound a trifling dangerous? Sounds exciting to me. Sounds like fun. Ah, the old memory has not let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with the dastardly poignant insulating powder capable of halting the flow of aether in a Talos. You only need to get in throwing distance of one and let it fly. Thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Eulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I'd ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I've said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even the Talos isn't a threat. I mean, ain't a threat. There's hundreds and more other things out there waiting to make a meal of you. This may be, Ciarfox, but Weird didn't task me with solving this problem, and I'll not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Alright, but if there's any trouble, we call it off. I couldn't hurt your poor wife with the news. Yes, well, that should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I always preferred living to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. As Ciarfox says, these lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I also need you to alert me when it's safe to subdue the Talos. Understand? Will I be shouting across the distance, or suddenly we will have pearl links again? Good! Then let's be off to the quick way, through the north gate, and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. Either Master Chai's off his nut, or it means there's more than he's been letting on. Alright, nothing to worry about, just a simple matter of sneaking up on the Talos while avoiding the slavering, bloodthirsty beasts lurking behind every rock. Child's play, ahem. When you're ready, let's begin. Apparently he had a wild childhood, or at least the teenage years. There's little point in both of us shouting instructions. Keep him safe, Ishnai. I think you'd do a better job of it, Alphino, since you're the one that's always telling me instructions to do. When he first arrived, I could barely hear him over the knocking of his knees. And now this. I'm not sure what's gotten into him, but whatever it is, I like it. Oops. Okay, so when he's not looking, I wasn't paying that much attention. Zoom in. The signal to sneak forward. Where will we sneak forward to? Approach from the rear. I'm hitting the... Okay, so I have to actually be on him to do the execute signal. Did I forget to check to see if there's a, bird watching? Might have. I did it! Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? Calm yourself, old boy. Everything will be fine. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Ishnai. Cocky so quickly? Okay. that should do it. Now, all we have all we need to proceed. I hope somebody's informed Eulmore that there will be a bunch of Talos walking their general direction, so they don't panic. It would seem I misjudged Master Chai. There may be yet hope for Eulmore. Our friend returns with nary a scratch. Well done. Blimey, I thought my heart was going to stop for a moment there. Make that a couple of moments. Eh. I can scarcely believe it. What a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Eulmore's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Dahlia's Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Eulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant me Eulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support, after probably panicking, because nobody was informed they're coming. Well, at least it would seem Eulmore's leadership is at last in capable hands, would you not agree? We should probably get back soon, Master Chai. After you tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai is worried sick. Rocking music.
Right then. Form a line and make for Eulmore.
They're polite Talos. Queuing up like British people do for their invasion. I mean, not invasion. I mean, maybe invasion. Teasing invasion. Because people haven't told anybody that they're coming, so...
What's that noise?
Yes.
Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
Call the locksmith! You know, we could have gotten ahead of the Talos and warned the people.
Stay back! All of you!
Don't break it. Don't break it.
Is that?
You could have done. You didn't have to do the fancy walkout kind of thing.
Darling, you're back.
Didn't have to cause all this fucking ruckus.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
We already covered that we didn't see the letter. Don't kill. Don't kill.
Oh, oh dear.
Don't kill the mayor. And yeah, the death hug maybe not, but I mean almost death hug, yeah.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Kitty. Relationship goals.
No, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Woo!
Oh, how wonderful!
Dearest, please.
He seems to be a masochist that enjoys it anyways. I dare say the future of Eulmore has never looked brighter. Or lacked oxygen. Sorry, I wasn't much help. Seeing Master Chai go after the Talos was something, eh? Inspiring stuff. Thank you again for finding my husband. I confess, I was not expecting your return to be quite so grand. That dear, sweet man, he's gonna make the most wonderful mayor. I just know it. Cough. I just need a one moment. That was quite a reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word is spread around Eulmore, it would be much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. There's no time to lose. We must begin making preparation for the inaugural address. Once Master Chai has caught his breath, of course. No need to fret, Ishnai. I've never felt better. Not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Eulmore. As for where to do it, if we were to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they will assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Kai Shear, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gate Town and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I'll go let the guards know not to bar any to the way to Valther's chambers. That goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming she's available. Good that you're asking nicely. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? This isn't a bitter end, though. I mean, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But, I mean, it's not bitter. Dorman at the lift will show you up. Don't worry, I'll make sure everyone's there for Master Chai's big speech. So get yourself down to the Merchant. Go. Be gone. Yeah. Actually, I should probably keep some of these for... Alright, chatted. Let's go. Woo! Yes, Mr. Chai told us to expect you. The emergence is already filling up with people of false persuasions, free and bonded citizens, not citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we've reserved a place in the front. Right this way, miss. Of course, always in the front. You know, maybe you should be on the stage rather than...
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eulmore to look around? "'Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule.
Did my cousin? No, this is a Seeker of the Sun. Different eye pupils and all this other stuff, so, I am of the Keeper of the Moon. Different clans. Different clans! Couldn't even be cousins on that.
Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too.
My day
Today
was pretty
we welcome
good.
the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eulmore's new beginning.
How does it feel, Alphino, to be considered among the Warriors of Darkness, even though you don't have the Echo? Oh yeah.
As you know, an election
he has a
was
British
recently
accent.
held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Forthry. You
The
placed
Lord
great
Baby
faith
Child.
in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Eulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens.
Woo!
The systems put in place by Lord Forthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Eulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today.
Yeah, scheduling and planning. Something I'm not good at.
Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved.
Woo!
The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night.
Woo!
Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future.
I'm quite sure the Crystarium will be able to help
Until then,
provide seeds and all
I
sorts of stuff.
humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Eulmore!
I know the reason why they have me and Alphino stand so far apart is to make up for whatever characters we have that would be in our space if I'd be like a Rodigan or whatever. But it feels kind of odd, like standing so far away from Alphino. Like I'm afraid he's gonna give me COVID or something. Seeing everyone come together like that, it was beautiful, that was. The city of final pleasures, they used to call this place back when the world was ending, but now I hope it'll become the city of new endeavors. But isn't he simply wonderful, seeing him take charge of that room as he did? Oh, it reminds me why I fell for him in the first place. Now that our work can begin in earnest, I look very much forward to seeing this Eulmore for the people. Death? Huh? That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirring them to action, I hope. If I've learned anything from all this, it is that change begins with the individual. But 'tis a matter of finding the strength to take that first step. Assuming my fellow Eulmorians can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all these changes possible. Don't worry, we'll stop showing up anywhere near here in soon. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism, the very stone which this city stands. No, please don't. Please don't, 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 please don't. I prefer to be a faceless warrior of light that nobody remembers the face of nor could recognize. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We'll not be moving into emergence, my dear. It's too big, for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We'll retain our current residence and we'll govern here from the parlor. I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. I beg your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Cat, stop. Yes, of course. Hathenbet? Hathenbet. Aye, that's me. I liked your speech, but there's folks outside these walls that don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who's counting on their crumbs. If you plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. Then we have much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. I thank you again for your help, Ishnai. I hope to see you again before long. Well, also Alphino. Also Alphino. I know sometimes I always think other people besides me. I mean, but now include Alphino in this. What a day. Don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. Those were pretty paintings! The interesting style paintings, but I mean... It's clear to me that I shall resolve to remain here till such time that Eulmore's future was secured, but it's clear to me that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence they'll find their way, and I believe it's time we win ours. Like I said, one of the things I do like about Genshin and Honkai is you actually do end up going back to, like, worlds that you've been, even if it's just for events or little things. Where you don't feel like, oh, now that I've finished with this region, we're never the fuck coming back. Who cares what happens to these people? With the Master Chai at the helm, if only for the interim, I feel I can bid farewell to Eulmore and return to the source with no regrets. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? No, I mean at the end of the expansion. I mean, this technically is the end, but I mean, when we get into the next expansion kind of thing. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? Seems like he's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my time dreaming about living here with my friends, in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better is taking its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. But for some... okay. Because, like, we rarely go back to Ishgard. Unless I have, like... I somehow get dragged all the way from Alamigo to Ishgard to heal. From a battle. Alamigo. Yeah, all the way from Alamigo, all the way. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep the things changing for the battle. Better. A far nobler dream than one which you clung to before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back, is there? We've got a few ideas what we can do our bit, but matter of taking the first step. Yeah, like, literally. Ishgard, I'm only really there if I need to do the firmament, and if I'm... back in the old places. You know, going places, like, new places, or but also visiting old places again for fun. Sure, I'll do my part for Eulmore, but I'll think of something. Reflections. A lot of different reflections. Truly seeing Kashir thus inspired our actions is inspiring itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Eulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Big Lug's studies have borne fruit to our absence. The shards. Yeah, that'd probably be nice. Or at least part of it take place in there. would seem if Alize is yet to return from the inn at the journey's head. I do hope she doesn't overtire herself. She's fucking overtiring herself. We all... I don't know what you're saying, I hope, Alphino. Both of us know your twin sister well enough. In the course of preparing more Auracite, we've made a significant discovery. We thought it best to wait for your return before sharing our findings. My congratulations, Ishnai. Glad tidings from Eulmore did precede thy coming. I will see that Thancred and Ryan hear of these momentous events, that they might too take joy in that which thou hast helped bring about. Take it you're ready to resume our work? Yes. Welcome back. I've begun to understand that a new mayor has taken office in Eulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Tri was elected by popular vote, and after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the position. It's a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Auracite? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference, and concluded at length that while White Auracite was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Urianger, did you not say that, compared to the massy souls of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with Becklook's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we belatedly realize, would be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Auracite doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshly simulacra, and the surfeit of aether which comprise them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyche as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the Auracite instead, but would be more than likely sacrificing your souls in the process. Which is why we abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which the mind and soul might be transported together. We were no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a very vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has poised the most intriguing solution. When our discussion turned to the transference of memories in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Ishnai, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Duga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of Allegan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allegans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technique by which the Allegans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, repeat with not just our worldly memories, but also the bound energies of the soul. This is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it to where so it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Ishnai return to the source and inform Kryl. I know it's Kryl. And the others of our findings. Kiri! That's still Kiri, though. I agree. I imagine Tataru would be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings into Thancred and Ryan, and assist where I may in the investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Though I have a question on whether I want to instead jump over and do the trials for... before, you know, Thancred and the others leave the source. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Speaking of that, will I see Instinian this time around? Because she did say he was trying to get in contact with him. I pray the link to their bodies in your world will endure for a while longer. Should it fail, our efforts will be for naught. Mark my words, Ishnai. We'll unlock the secrets of the Allegan Eye, and see the others return home. Cool! There'll be time when there was a time when I thought these eyes a curse, you know, but for what they've enabled me to do, and what they may yet make possible, I see now that they're a blessing. With the benefit of our combined knowledge and the aids of the first leading authority on soulcraft, we will surely find the solutions, surely. Beglok insists we resume our work forthwith, but I grow wary at the thought. I would not give her a cup of tea or perhaps a vanilla tart. I'm quite sure somebody in the, over there in the Crystarium could make something like that. Or hell, I can bring some back from the source. I didn't offer it. My character at least didn't, but I'm offering. Yay, more Estinian. Too bad we're probably not going to get any more ceramic much, though. That's fine. He's a leader. He can't be around all when we need him. Let's see what other people... I think that's the same statement as before. Yep. Ishnai, you're back! How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Kiri was here shortly. We'll be here shortly, and she'll want to hear too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyways, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Upon speaking with Tataru, several cutscenes records had sufficient time to view the scene's entirety. I'm gonna get a drink. I'm gonna get more drink. It's not alcohol, though. But that's what I'm gonna do.